Yes, we're live. Welcome everybody. My name is Serge, and instead of being your webinar host today, I will be your community broadcast host. Welcome to the first MyRoute-app community broadcast. And maybe you remember me from earlier when I did the instruction videos and the webinars. We won't be doing that tonight. And actually, we won't be doing that the coming weeks. We have a different plan, and I hope you like it. So feel free to comment if you don't, and also feel free to comment if you do. In this series of MyRoute-app community broadcast, we want to bring you everything that has to do with motorcycles, motorbike riding, traveling, keeping your bike up, doing maintenance, travel stories, and everything that has to do with enjoying great routes, making them, preparing them, but also enjoying them in real life. So if you have great stories to share, please feel free to put them in the comments. Maybe you made a trip to Norway and visited the North Cape, and you have a great picture book of that, and you have videos of that, you want to share it with the community. Please make yourself known and let us know. Also, if you are an avid bike builder and you want to give us a virtual tour through your shed and show us how you build your bikes, more than welcome. We would like to invite you to join in this fun. And to tell you more about what we plan on doing during this series, I have invited one guest. It's actually a colleague of mine. His name is Timo. I'll introduce him in a second, and he's our community manager, and he's the first of many guests that we hope to see on this broadcast that has important and I think also very interesting news to share with you. So without further ado, I will switch my headset on. In Dutch I said, let's wear my earrings. So maybe I should just do that in English as well. And I switch to the Zoom meeting, and that handsome young man there is Timo. He's our community manager, and I would like to give him a chance to introduce himself. Timo, welcome, and please tell us who you are and what you do here at MyRoute-app.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Sergio. My name is Timo. I'm the community manager at MyRoute-app. I've been working here for 8 years. I started as the graphics designer for MyRoute-app and gradually grew into a more global role over that encompasses more than just visually designing what we're doing, but also functionally, and then eventually community design, so to speak. What my role is exactly, it encompasses a lot of things, but the most important thing is finding a place for what the community wants to do within the concept of MyRoute-app as the all-in-one platform for motorcyclists and recreative motorists. So
cool.
That's what I do.
Great. And the community, you say community, is that just MyRoute-app users, or is that a broader term? Is that something?
Yeah, very good that you said that. The MyRoute-app community is not just the existing user base of MyRoute-app. So in this sense, the people that are already using MyRoute-app, but also the people who are not using MyRoute-app yet, or specifically the people that do not want to use, for example, the MRA route planner. That's very specific, the free version of the MRA route planner. The reason is that we want to know what the reasons are for people to either use or not use specific services of MyRoute-app, because only by knowing where some people find you lacking are you able to improve yourself and create a better system that's more suited for everybody.
Okay, and how do you go about doing that? I know MyRoute-app very well. I know the website. I have shown it many times to the people watching. But one of the things I always skipped a little bit because it doesn't have necessarily to do with route planning as such is the forum. And that is actually what you're talking about, right? Can you share that with us?
Of course, I will actually start screen sharing now.
Okay.
There we go. The forum. The forum is a little bit of a hidden gem in the MRA route planner. It's I've opened MyRoute-app here on the page that's most recognizable to people within the route planner itself.
Yeah, this is just on the website, right? You can open this on any device.
Yeah, you can also open it on your iPad or your telephone. You go to the forum. It's a big button over there, and you go to this traditional forum layout for the community. And what this is a place where the community is able to get together.
And you stopped sharing. You stopped sharing.
I stopped sharing. I thought I can switch back to sharing in a second.
Oh, yeah, sure. You do that. Yeah, sorry. I thought that you missed something or something.
No, no problem. No, I will actually share a little bit, a bit more about the forum, but I thought maybe when I was talking, it would be better to not share. Because then you'd be looking at an end.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But maybe if you introduce the forum, it helps to see the picture of it.
I will share it.
I thought that I pressed some button here and I thought I broke it already.
Don't worry, Sergio. No, everything's all right. In fact, I'll go back to sharing because I wanted to talk a little bit about specifically the self-service area of the forum. Self-service area of the forum is what 2 years ago was the only part of the forum, and in fact it didn't even look like this. It was embedded within the premium support system of MyRoute-app, so it was really by visuals and mindset alone, it was oriented towards problems and not towards solutions or finding a community how do you say it?
It wasn't interactive.
No, it wasn't interactive. It wasn't made by and for the community. So now we've placed the self-service area, and it's also called not support area, but it's a self-service area within a framework of all kinds of engaging and entertaining parts of that's also very important to the community. So the self-service forum comes into several is available in several languages. Primarily, the most important ones obviously are English, Dutch, and German, not because we like people that speak those languages better, but simply because of the almost 250,000 users. Those are the majority of language speakers. And we also encourage people that if they're able to voice their question, for example, in Dutch, English, or German, then please try to do so, because this is a community activity. And sadly, Spanish, French, and Italian is simply at this time a place that is not, at least on the forum, a place where people are very active.
And that probably has to do with the number of users.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's completely related, because the majority of people using MyRoute-app are German, Dutch, or English.
And if you use a translator tool like Google Translate, you're much more likely, even if an Italian-speaking user, to post your question in English, because more people will be able to answer your question in English, and then with the help of a translator tool, you can probably help your way there. So that's also an explanation for why that different is, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even more so, if you go, for example, into the English forum, you will see that the most important rule is how to help and how to get help. It's a
two-way street.
It's not a premium support service. It's not for Gold, MRA Route Planner Gold users. It's for all users, free users, people that don't even use MyRoute. Everybody can come here. It's a place where you, as a member of the community, are not just to get help. You're also to bring insight into how you, for example, use your routes to how you use route waypoints to make your routes better, or how you use certain functionality, or give tips and tricks, or help somebody overcome a problem that they think is a bug that might very simply be something to do with how they have set up their preferences while using the MRA Route Planner. So that's really the mindset behind the forum, is how to help and how to get help.
So that also means that you are not the one answering all these questions, right? And
not me on my own, no. And there was a danger that I would be on my own, or that I would not, because it's not within, it's not a primary objective for me as community manager to go here and answer questions.
No.
Neither is it for the support, the premium support staff of MyRoute-app.
And we have a support team as well.
There is a support team. There, if you really want, you can get premium support by becoming an MRA Route Planner Gold member.
But everybody else and everybody in general can help each other here. So it's an interaction between users.
Yes, because the fact that somebody is not a paying customer doesn't mean that they shouldn't be provided with the right tools to help each other. And that's exactly why we wanted to do something like this. And it's a really nice example of what the role of a community manager is for MyRoute-app, is trying to find places or improvements for things that come from the community. And this really illustrates it, because it's not just for gold members, it's also for free members, it's also for people that are not even using MyRoute-app or even complaining about.
And people that trial the software may have the most questions, so it makes sense to allow them to ask those questions and maybe get a more experienced MyRoute-app user to help them on their journey to becoming a full fledged user, and maybe start using MyRoute-app Gold because they like the support that they get. So it's really an interaction between users, and that's what you see. Many people, if you visit the forum more often, you see the same names. And
that's very true. You see people talking in languages they don't even speak because they like helping each other so much. That's really great, and we really encourage anybody to become a part of.
And it's free, so everybody there's no reason to not do it. And another great thing that comes from the community forum is suggestions, right?
Suggestions.
We talked about it a little bit before this this live broadcast.
I want to talk about two suggestions, because in the last video, the previous one we did in Dutch, I forgot to mention it. There's two things really going on right now that I'd like to tell you more about.
Please share.
The first one is the fact that the community comes up with suggestions, and a lot of things are very functional, geared towards one of the services of MyRoute-app. Other things are very practical. For example, there's a lot of somebodies that told us, you don't have a web shop, and we tell them, well, we don't sell
merch.
We don't sell merchandise. That's not our primary goal. And then people go, well, you could try it. And we tried it and it didn't work. And then they told us, well, that's because you're not selling the things that we're interesting, we find interesting. So we tried and asked, what did people find interesting? And one of the things that I really liked is the idea of a physical calendar. So we've made a physical calendar, which is now available.
Cool. Yeah, we missed that on the Dutch one.
We missed that on the Dutch one. There's a limited edition calendar available, and for the first time in our merchant, we as I said, we don't sell merchandise. For the first time ever, we're actually we're doing this, and it's already almost out of stock. So that's
okay. You share that? Is there a picture that we can see for the last?
I can show you a picture
for the last few leftover items.
Yeah, I'd love.
And I'm guessing if it's such a success, it's quite an easy thing to print a few more from, right? So we can order.
Definitely. It's already something that we're looking at as well, because we definitely, if people really like it, we want to allow them to be able to see it. Let's see, here it is.
So a physical calendar on which you can write down all your plans for next summer, where you're gonna go. Ah, cool! In MyRoute-app layout.
Yeah. So this is the PDF version.
And
you can see that it's a calendar. Every page has a beautiful full color handmade artwork, varying scenes. It also has all the important holidays, such as April Fool's, for example. And well, it's just a very simple and at the same time very beautiful piece of merchandise that really speaks to the community, apparently. So
apparently, if it's selling so well, so this is something that people can already find on the website.
They can find it on you can find it on Facebook.
Facebook, great.
They are also, if you purchase a 3-year MyRoute Route Planner Gold subscription, you get one for free as long as supply.
That's actually a really nice deal, because the calendar is not. It's a really thick paper. It's
A3 format, so it's twice as big as the regular calendars. It's thick paper, high quality finish. Its market value is €30, so I think that's a pretty good deal, to be honest. But cool. Another initiative for the community obviously goes about the functionality.
Exactly.
And that's why we made, first we gathered all the requests and all the suggestions of people on MyRoute-app.
So you collated that and made an overview?
Yeah, we made an overview. We did 2 rounds of votes, and the top 10.
I remember that. Maybe other people in the chat can confirm that they've seen that too. MyRoute-app sent out a query saying, "Hey, these are the features that we see you guys request a lot. Can you vote, please, for these features?"
Yes.
And from that list, you made a road.
Yeah, we made a roadmap.
Roadmap.
A roadmap. And the roadmap is not just the requests from the top 10 requests from the community. It is an amalgamation of requests from the community things that the MyRoute-app development and community team designed, and things that the back-end engineers need to do to make sure that MyRoute-app remains, the number one all-in-one route planner. So
is that a secret thing that nobody sees, or
well, it's a very, very visible thing, but maybe we should do something about how visible it is or how accessible it is. If you go here,
we're on the MyRoute-app homepage.
On MyRoute-app homepage, you go to your profile, and then you can see
top right corner of the screen. Yep.
Top right corner of the screen. You can click Roadmap.
Roadmap.
And this brings you to this very beautiful Roadmap website, and you can see immediately what we're doing. It's very, very simple.
So this is the iterations of the MyRoute-app.
Yes, milestones. Exactly. It's the milestones of a long road towards the future version of MyRoute-app. And that by the future version of MyRoute-app, we mean everything that we've really thought of in a project sense that could be added to MyRoute-app, from improving our shop to adding 3D maps, to adding a new round tour generator, to reinventing how waypoints work. Everything that we want to do is in here. And you can also in one quick glance see that we've already finished the first version, which is very simply just launching the roadmap. And we're now working on the 1.1.
What's in that?
Yeah, let's look at it. Let's
so it's a milestone, so it's
so you can zoom in on the milestones.
Yep.
And we even have this handy, I'm not sure if it's the correct word, legenda or map.
Well, I think it's a legend, so you can show
legend.
Yeah.
The legend of which color associates with which feature. Green features, system features, are the ones designed by the community and development team. The blue ones are from the vote, from the made by
the users. The users,
exactly. And the yellow ones are what we call infrastructure improvements, things that the backend engineer really requires us to do, and what they will spend time on. So why are we showing all these together in one roadmap, even the things that aren't really member-facing improvements, such as, for example, improving the way your shop works, is because we believe at MyRoute-app that transparency is the most important part of our internal business culture. That's part of our success. We've always motorcyclists and recreative motorists are very straightforward people. They know when you're not being true, and they know when they're being lied to. So we decide, we're just being
there's no secrets
transparent
here, right?
in what we're doing.
Yeah, there's no secrets.
There's no secrets, and so based on that, we've decided for the first milestone. The 3 projects included are going to be the 3 most important projects that the community said we want this in the MRA route planner.
I see waypoints. This is really something that speaks to a lot of people.
Waypoints are core functionality of making a route. So we're adding, building a community wish list with brand new waypoints. The stop and via points, or shaping and via points, are a feature that are very familiar to Garmin users.
The soft and the hard points, right?
Soft and hard waypoints that decide whether whether a waypoint just shapes the route but might be skipped, or whether you really, really have to pass through that specific waypoint.
Not necessarily stop, but you really want to make sure that you don't miss this.
Just go through there, absolutely go through there, or manually skip it. We also heard a lot of people saying, and this is why the democracy is fun, is because we didn't know that this was something people wanted to see improved.
No.
We have a feature that allows you to put between 2 waypoints, add another waypoint.
Yeah, just
many people didn't know it existed.
Hover over the line and then.
Many people didn't know it existed and thought it was very unuser friendly the way it works now. So we decided, well, okay, apparently this is what people want. We'll improve it.
And this came also from the forum then, right? So people were talking about that on the forum.
Yeah, and people were talking about it on the forum. People were talking about it in support tickets. Yeah. People were talking.
I've even seen some questions on it in the webinars. I think I saw some questions on it as well.
Yeah, people like you, Serge, and other instructors of other MyRoute-app instructors told us that this was an issue. So we added it to the survey, and people voted on it. So that's why it's on up. So even though this is not something that was suggested directly on the forum,
it just bubbled up to the surface.
Bubbled up to the surface because people voted on it.
Cool.
Timed waypoints is the last feature, and it was really it's a suggestion that was really popular with our professional members of the community. By professional, I mean people that use MyRoute-app for business purposes, such as logistical planners, professional trip organizers, people like that.
But I can also imagine people that want to plan their vacation trip and want to estimate how long it will take them to do a route, including a lunch stop and maybe 2 coffee stops, so that you get a real representation of the estimated travel time, including those stops.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. That's a really nice feature. I'm sure that many people will like this. And you said something about the internal infrastructure. Just to help me understand, that's really the back end, right? That's the servers. That's the guys that program all the apps and the website. We don't, as users, necessarily see anything of that, but by improving the infrastructure, our experience improves as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, and it's also on the higher level view of the roadmap. You can see what we're working on because every milestone switches with the previous one. So right now we're working on a lot of community features. That means that next milestone, we have to work on some improvements on the back end, on the more things that we wanted to do initially before we started working on the community features. Then we switch back again, and it goes on and on.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? You have to build each site to keep the new features working well.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that you had another great feature that I think many people will like. You showed me in the Dutch version that shows you the route that you planned in one overview.
Oh yeah, I'm going for I heard a lot of people positive feedback about it. It's 1.4. Here, the travel overview.
Yeah, this is a question that we have had in quite a few webinars. Is it possible to see my 3-day trip to the Alps or my 5-day trip to Germany? And this will cater to that, right? So you can select your route in your overview and then have a preview of it next to it. So you can visualize the route, even if you named it Saturday morning run and you have 12 routes that are now named Saturday morning run, you can still see what each individual one is.
I'm zooming in here. This is a very old design concept for this. I'm very, very certain that it won't look like this, but this gives you an idea of what we'll be working towards. Specifically for this feature is indeed showing people within a map, within a folder, how many routes there are, what the routes do, and what they look like on a map.
Now we're talking about design examples. I also know that you have a mock-up of the new route points. I think that our viewers might be interested in that because that's the next big release, and we can't put a date on it yet, but it's really around the corner, right? It could be less than a month, actually.
It's all right. I said we wouldn't give deadlines. I personally believe that within the next month we'll have.
Cool.
But and again, we've seen this in the past happen so many times that.
Now we want to make sure that it's working perfectly, and because it is an update that has to do with waypoints, we have to test it with a gazillion navigation systems from the oldest Garmin's to the newest TomToms and everything in between. So our beta teams is now testing that, right?
Testing the features, we definitely we're in a very advanced stage though. We're testing existing functionality.
It's the last bits and bobs.
Good likes and nice to haves in there while the other team is working on fixing something that isn't working just yet. So we're very close.
Cool. We have a few minutes, so maybe you can.
I'm going to move forward and show you.
Because that's really an exciting new feature. I've seen it, and I've even seen a test page where we as internal testers can already fiddle around with the new features, the new Waypoint functionality. And I, for one, really look forward to seeing this being delivered on the platform, and I'm sure many people will. Okay, so we're in the southwest of the Netherlands.
So this is a visual design of what what MyRoute-app route planner will look like after the first update, the 1.1 update.
Exactly. So
all the features are in here. I'm gonna walk through them. First of all, the shaping and via points will be visually identifiable, Shaping points remain the core of any route, so they have the normal pin-like icon.
Yeah. And they're just to make your route go over this way, or over this road, or over that road, and nothing special.
Exactly.
You can color them if you want, but they don't do anything for the route necessarily.
No, exactly. And a via point is really telling you, it's like holding up a hand. You have to go through here. You can't take any other way without forcibly skipping me. So that's why we've put them inside of a hand.
This is where you put your lunch stop. This is where you put your.
This is where you could put your lunch stop or a very important route or a piece of road that you want to go over.
Yeah, I don't want to miss this particular road because the view is fantastic.
So important. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Obviously, as signaled here by the different colors, you see that the hands have exactly the same functionality as the normal shaping points. You can add them in different colors. Moving on to the in-between waypoints, you can see that if you move your mouse close to the existing route line, you'll see that a significantly larger icon than what it is right now will show up with a very clear visual signaling you like, hey, you can add a waypoint or a shaping point here.
Especially on smaller screens, I think that will help people.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe for mobile devices as well. What's also good to know is that this doesn't overrule the existing functionality of being able to drag the line. You can still click on this, hold it, and drag it and drop it somewhere. But that also is going to be visually more precise and
more intuitive.
Better. Yeah, more intuitive to use. Moving into another fun feature is, of course, the break option, timed waypoints. Timed waypoints, you can see it here in the, by the way, redesigned waypoint menu. Is we've added a lot more visual distinction, more contrast between the icons without losing the original meaning of the icons. We know that our audience really likes things to stay the same as much as possible while improving on it. So
but this is an artist rendition, right?
This is an artist rendition, yeah. So you can see that we've cleaned it up and we've made it a bit more visible and more useful. And we've added the break knob here. It's in Dutch, so that is the break button.
And that's for the timed waypoint. So
this
you can add
a timed waypoint. This is what adds a timed waypoint. So if you click here, you would see an icon here with a clock and telling you how many seconds or minutes or hours do you want to add. And
so for a lunch break, you can put in an hour.
Yeah, for example,
for a photo moment, you can put in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and you can choose out of several standard icons. We might expand on them. We're already getting some feedback from the test group, but these are the standard ones, very general. They don't have any functionality lying behind them because we want people to be able to be creative with them. So we've added general things such as a clock, such as a warning sign, and
the group icon, so you can mark a location. This is where we meet. We meet at 11 and we ride off at 11:30, so people know that they can get together there and then start the combined route. I also see a green route point on the bridge there. Are we planning on stopping there, or is it something else?
No, this is why I've added the break point on the bridge. As you see, I added the clock, but it could have. Well, I'm obviously not going to use a hamburger, but I could have if I want to. This is to indicate, hey, we're moving through Zeeland, and it has some very beautiful bridges to go over. And we're moving with a group, at least in my imagination, and we're not going to go as fast as the speed limit. And routes are always calculated based on the general speed limit that's available on that route. So I added a break on the bridge to show you how powerful this feature is. I add a brake. It's not really a brake. It's just telling the route we're going to go slower here. I'm taking
so it takes a little bit longer than the estimate.
Driving a few minutes longer than what we planned to do originally, or what the software wants us to do, because we want to look out over these beautiful water defense that the Netherlands is so famous for, and just take in all that beauty. So that's why we added the brake on the bridge, and that's just showing you how powerful it is. Traditional brakes such as hamburger stops or food stops are also available, but also, for example, these alert icons can be very useful to identify, hey, look, this piece of road might not be maintained so well, so we're going to take a little bit more time to drive.
Especially when you drive in Belgium, that's not even a far-fetched idea.
Yeah, it's in Belgium as well, so yeah.
I know.
Wasn't intentional, but yes. It's very possible that the roads are not that good there.
I for one cannot wait to see these features live, Timo. And yes. I guess we could continue for another 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour. And I'm sure that our viewers wouldn't even mind us doing so. But we said we would keep it to half an hour, yes, so we have something else that we can talk about next time. I want to thank you for this great explanation now and for showing us these cool features. Everybody's free to explore the roadmap themselves. You can just click on your picture on the top right corner and then pull down to roadmap and read everything about what we are planning to build in the near future.
Yes.
Also check out the forum if you haven't done so yet. Timo, I want to thank you for being my guest, my first guest today. I really enjoyed having you. And to the people watching, I want to say this was the first. I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions on who we could see as a guest or topics that we want to discuss, this could be technical, this could be about travel plans, about how to go about planning a multi-day trip. Anything is fair game in this setup. It's again a community effort also for this broadcast. So if you have great stories to share, please let us know. For now, I thank you very much for being here tonight. This video will also be available in the webinar room afterwards. So if you have missed it, there's always a chance for you to see it again later on. Have a great evening, drive safe, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Zo. Oh, hoop dat hij wel uit is nu.